Hello and welcome to Siyasat TV. I am Sumayya Junaid Ahmed bringing you the news. Here are the headlines.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to address Kisan Mahapanchayat in Meerut on 7th of March. Useless pieces of paper, Delhi court slams cops over Delhi riot-linked reports. Uttar Pradesh to invoke National Security Act against Hathras murder case accused. Indigo flight makes emergency landing in Pakistan, passenger dead on arrival. G. Kishan Reddy takes the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at Hyderabad's Gandhi Hospital. All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin legislator complains of extortion threat. 9-year-old girl dies after being caned during exorcism in Sri Lanka. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations set to talks with Myanmar military as crisis escalates.
Let's begin with a top story. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will address a Kisan Mahapanchayat in Uttar Pradesh, Meerut on 7th of March to highlight the issues being faced by the farmers.
The Congress party is organizing Kisan Panchayat in 28 districts of western Uttar Pradesh to raise a voice against the farm laws and to support farmers' demand to repeal them. Uttar Pradesh Congress had launched the Jai Jawan Jai Kisan program in the region on 10th of February from Saharanpur through Kisan Panchayat, which was addressed by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra.
Moving on to our next story, Delhi High Court on Monday came down heavily on police over a vigilance inquiry report filed after a Jamia Millia Islamia student arrested in May in a case linked to last year's riot in the national capital said his confession statement was leaked to media. Asif Iqbal has petitioned the court an alleged media trial.
Half-baked, useless piece of information were the words used by the court to reprimand the police. Justice Mukta Gupta said the vigilance inquiry is even worse than what they do in ordinary inquiry in petty theft case. These are not files sent through couriers, these are handheld files. Last year, 24-year-old Asif Iqbal had said that his statement of confession to police, which is not admissible in court and cannot be treated as evidence, was leaked to media and was misinterpreted.
According to LinkedIn's Opportunity Index 2021 report released today, even though 66% of people in India feel that gender equality has improved compared to their parents' time, working women in the country still contended with strongest gender bias across Asia Pacific countries.
When asked about their reasons for being unhappy with the opportunities to advance in their careers, 1 in 5, which is 22% working women in India, said their companies exhibit a favorable bias towards men at work when they compare to the regional average of 16%.
Moving on, court in Delhi today granted a week's time to the Delhi police to file reply to the anticipatory bail of the Nikita Jacob and co-accused along with Disha Ravi in the connection with allegedly being involved in sharing a toolkit on social media related to the farmers' protest.
Additional Sessions Judge Dharmendra Rana allowed the police plea to grant it time till 9th of March after the public prosecutor said the agency need time to file a detailed reply to Ms. Jacob's plea. The court is scheduled to hear the anticipatory bail plea of another co-accused, Shantanu Muluk, on 9th of March.
Alright, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today directed officials to invoke the National Security Act against all the 4 accused involved in the murder of Amrish Sharma, a resident of Hathras.
Amrish Sharma was shot dead by the main accused Gaurav Sharma and his friends. Uttar Pradesh police said the deceased has filed a case against Gaurav Sharma in July 2018 for allegedly molesting his daughter at a village in the Sasni police station area on Monday. The Chief Minister's office CMO said in a statement, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath directs officials to take strict action in the matter. He has also given directions to invoke National Security Act against all the accused involved in the case.
A Sharjah-Lucknow Indigo flight made an emergency landing today in Pakistan's Karachi after a passenger suffered a medical emergency. According to an official statement by the airline, the passenger was declared dead on the arrival in Karachi by the airport medical team.
The statement said Indigo Flight 6E1412 from Sharjah to Lucknow was diverted to Karachi due to medical emergency. Unfortunately, the passenger could not be revived and was declared dead on the arrival by the airport medical team. The airlines expressed condolences to the family of the passenger.
Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today received the first dose of the coronavirus vaccine, a day after the second phase of the mega vaccination drive against the virus began in India.
Dr. Harshvardhan received his jab on the indigenous Covaxin in front of cameras at the Delhi Heart and Lung Institute. His wife Nutan Goyal too was vaccinated. The minister and the wife paid rupees 250 each, the capped fee for COVID vaccine shot at a private institute. As per protocol, they were kept under observation for 30 minutes after the inoculation.
Let's bring you the latest on the COVID figures in the country. India's COVID-19 tally caseload crossed 1.11 crore mark with 12,286 new coronavirus cases and 91 deaths reported in the past 24 hours. Remember, this is the government data shared by the Health Ministry coming up early this morning. Amid concerns of a third wave, more than 12,464 people successfully fought off the viral disease, taking the overall recoveries to 1,7,98,921. The country now has 1,11,24,527 cases and more than 1,57,000 lives lost due to COVID-19, whereas Telangana recorded 163 new COVID-19 cases and 1 fatality. Let's shift our focus to Telangana, where Union Minister of State for Home Affairs G. Kishan Reddy today took the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at Gandhi Hospital in Hyderabad. Earlier on Monday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was administered the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, and appealed to all those who are eligible to get inoculated.
Many prominent leaders, including Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Vice President Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, Nationalist Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar were administered the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine on Monday. India commenced its third phase of COVID-19 vaccination drive to inoculate people above 60 years and those with over 45 with comorbidities against the coronavirus from 1st of March.
Well, in the last 1 year since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in Telangana, the healthcare workers at the Gandhi Hospital have treated 35,000 COVID-positive patients, successfully oversaw 900 deliveries of pregnant COVID-positive women and saved lives of nearly 7,000 COVID-positive individuals who needed ICU care.
Today, Health Minister E. Rajendra felicitated doctors, nurses, paramedical and sanitation staff of the hospital along with the first COVID patient who was admitted to the hospital on 2nd of March last year. Minister said, "We have come a long way and learnt a lot in the last 1 year. I must congratulate the recovered COVID patients and the healthcare workers of the Gandhi Hospital who have worked non-stop over the entire year and saved lives."
All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin legislator from Karwan, Kausar Mohiuddin, has lodged a complaint with the Banjara Hills police stating that some unknown person threatened him and demanded rupees 50 lakh.
The legislator said that 2 days ago when he was in Siddipet, he received a phone call from some person who threatened him and demanded rupees 50 lakh. He said, "After coming to the city, I lodged a complaint at the Banjara Hills police station and have asked them to track the caller. The Banjara Hills police are investigating."
And 2 persons were injured after the jeep they were travelling in rammed a truck near the Agricultural University in Rajendra Nagar this morning.
According to the report, the jeep driver was overspeeding and rammed the jeep into a cement bag laden truck ahead of it. The driver of the jeep and another person sustained injuries. The Rajendra Nagar police reached the spot and shifted the injured person in the ambulance to Osmania General Hospital. A case has been registered and investigation is on.
Moving on to our international news, police in Sri Lanka say they have arrested 2 people in the connection with the death of a 9-year-old girl who was repeatedly beaten during a ritual they believe that would drive an evil spirit away.
The 2 suspects, the woman performing exorcism and girl's mother, appeared in the court on Monday to hear charges over the girl's death, which occurred in a small town about 40 km northeast of the capital Colombo. The court ordered the suspects detained until 12th of March. According to the police, the mother believed her daughter had been possessed by a demon and took her to home of the exorcist so a ritual could perform to drive the spirit away. The exorcist first put oil on the girl and then began to hit her repeatedly with the cane. When the girl lost consciousness, she was taken to a hospital where she died.
The United States President Joe Biden's administration has defended its decision not to apply sanctions on Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman for the 2018 killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
We are working to put United States-Saudi Arabia relationship on right footing, State Department spokesman Ned Price said at a news conference in Washington on Monday, defending the Biden administration's decision not to sanction the Crown Prince, who is the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia. Price said the Biden administration is seeking to recalibrate, not rupture, the United States and Saudi Arabia relationship. Had the Biden administration done something more dramatic and something more drastic by naming Mohammed bin Salman for sanctions, it would greatly diminish United States influence in Riyadh. The administration's decision not to punish Crown Prince drew harsh criticism from publisher of the Washington Post, where Khashoggi was columnist.
The Association of Southeast Asian Nations foreign ministers are preparing to hold virtual talks with the representatives of Myanmar's military today as an anti-coup protesters return to the streets of the main city Yangon, defying fresh threats from the senior general Min Aung Hlaing.
Singapore's foreign minister in a televised interview late on Monday said Association of Southeast Asian Nation will tell the military it is appalled by the violence in Myanmar and call for the release of country's elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi and for the two sides to talk. The military's 1st of February power grab has plunged Myanmar into chaos, drawing hundreds of thousands of people on the streets of cities and towns across the country as doctors, teachers and other civil servants stop work in protest against the coup. In the bloodiest crackdown yet, security forces opened fire on protesters on Sunday, killing at least 18 and wounding dozens more.
Before we wrap up our bulletin, let's have a look on our headlines.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to address Kisan Mahapanchayat in Meerut on 7th of March. Useless pieces of paper, Delhi court slams cops over Delhi riot-linked reports. Uttar Pradesh to invoke National Security Act against Hathras murder case accused. Indigo flight makes emergency landing in Pakistan, passenger dead on arrival. G. Kishan Reddy takes the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at Hyderabad's Gandhi Hospital. All India Majlis-e-Ittehadul Muslimin legislator complains of extortion threat. 9-year-old girl dies after being caned during exorcism in Sri Lanka. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations set to talks with Myanmar military as crisis escalates.
Welcome back. These were all the updates. More news on the other side. Thank you for your time. For more news, stay tuned to Siyasat TV.